Here we are again having conversations about different companies on the floor of the NGX. And today on this episode of In Good Company, we're taking a look at BUA Foods. And this is a Nigerian powerhouse. And they are not just thriving, but dishing out decent numbers, smashing records. Their revenue of 1.5 trillion naira. Profits up by 162% and a bold expansion plan to dominate Africa's food industry. Let's take a look at a few of their numbers, and you sure know that I don't come here alone. I come here with a city gentleman who comes here to also explain all this in details, give you further insight as to their numbers. What is the meaning behind different numbers we're seeing based on what their result has been so far? BUA Food just reported record-breaking result for 2024. What were their key drivers behind this performance? We're going to find out when Idika Aja, who's a city gentleman, also shares his thoughts as regards that. But let's take a look at a few of the numbers. Let's see how well they've performed so far. Idika Aja, you're very much welcome to In Good Company again.
Yeah, thank you very much, Frank.
BUA Food, decent numbers, 1.5 trillion naira in total revenue, 162% profit. What is behind this rally? They're doing so well.
Yeah. They performed very well in 2020 for the 2024 financial year. I think revenue more than doubled to 1.5 trillion compared to about 757 billion they did in 2023.
Yeah.
So it's very, very massive and very, very impressive. Actually, if you look at the drivers, yes, the sugar SBU has been the major stay of BUA Foods. But in 2024, there is a little shift in their revenue stream from various segments. The flour section did very well, contributing what it did, I think about 35%. Compared to about 27% it did in 2023, while the sugar SBU, that's a segment, contributed about, I think 48% down from what it did in 2023. So you can see there is a shift, which is equally good for BUA Food. That means they are trying to diversify their income stream, which is very important. And that can equally be attributed to the recent expansion we saw in 2024. Both in the pasta and the flour segments. So they did very well. And again, there is that pricing. You cannot rule out the pricing to the increase
You can say that again.
So all these factors combine to push their revenue up.
But if you take a look at their flour segment, impressive growth, if you ask me, in 2024. What's driving that trend, especially for flour?
Yeah, I think they try to expand their business. I think their projection is to have increased it to about 2.5 million tons per annum. They have a partnership last year, and they are installing new plants, expanding it to at least to be one of the best or one of the biggest in Africa. So I think that equally contributed to that.
So that's why if you look at their strong profits, BUA Foods face significant foreign exchange losses because almost all the companies face significant foreign exchange losses. But how did this impact their operations? How did this impact the company in general?
Yeah, I think yes, it impacted them just like other companies.
Very true.
I think they sustained about 133 billion foreign exchange loss. That increased their finance cost about 202 billion, which is significant, no doubt. But I think they were able to manage their cost and achieve an operating profit margin about 31%, which is okay. Achieving a 31% of profit margin, I think is okay. That means they were able to manage costs irrespective of the foreign exchange loss. Again, I think what contributed to the good profit margin is the reduction in their debt profile. So their debt dropped down to about 391 billion in 2024, and that actually affected their gearing ratio, which dropped from 210% to 81% in 20, which is good. That gives a good outlook to the balance sheet.
I was going to ask about balance sheet. What does what does BUA Foods balance sheets reveal about its financial health? Because you want to take a look at the financial health of the company before investing in that company. They say cash flow is king at any point in time.
Yeah. You are right. If you are looking at the balance sheet, you look at the leverage. The leverage, like I said, the gearing ratio dropped from a whopping 210% in 2023 to 81%, which is impressive. And with that, apart from that, the shareholders' equity increased, and total asset, the balance sheets are equally increasing, which is good for them. But the key factor there, the key catch there is the drop in the leverage, and that will give them equally enough room, opportunity to even expand more in terms they can borrow, because once your leverage drops, that will equally give you an opportunity to even borrow, increase your debt level.
It's the season of dividend. And I was taking a look at some of the billionaire profiles, especially those holding their companies.
Did very well.
Many of them making a truckload of money from dividend. And some retail investors are asking that, what are they proposing for dividend?
Yeah.
Because that's like the juice of the entire
you are right.
result.
This is
dividend season.
Season and dividend season. I think with the likes of the Zenith Bank chairman.
Oh my, Jim,
taking about 25 billion in dividends from Zenith Bank. For BUA, I think their dividend will be paid on the 25th of September, and they increase their dividend from 5.50 kobo to 13 naira. Which
That's
is
more than 100%.
More than
pretty decent.
More than 100%.
Yeah.
Because if you equally look at their earning growth, the earning per share grew from it grew by 136% to 14.78 naira. So if you look at it that way, they always say, okay, they increase their dividend. But yes, that's okay. But if you look at it in terms of payout ratio, the payout ratio in 2024 dropped slightly, I think, to 79.9 something compared to about 80% in 2023. So it's almost the same thing. So but the most important thing is the increase in dividend, which is they are consistent, and they are eager in rewarding their shareholders, which is very good. And for income-oriented investors, it is okay for them.
There's always this comparison.
So you can take a position looking at when the dividends will be paid. That is 25th September.
25th of September. Okay.
So I always advise that you can adopt this in the dividend investment strategy, where you can look at when the company is about to pay dividend, then take a position, even if after the payment of dividend, if you don't like, if you are not comfortable, you can exit too. But always the most important thing is that you must look at the liquidity, the volatility, the liquidity of the stock, so that you can easily
exit if you want
to exit. That's a very, very key.
So there's always this comparative analysis between growth and valuation. What do you have to say regarding their growth compared to their valuation?
Yeah, I look at BUA Food. It's a growth company.
Okay.
Very, very. They are expanding. Looking at their outlook and their projection in terms of addition, at least they had about 3 innovation last year. The addition where they're trying to increase the pasta production from 500,000 tons to 900. Then moving their flour production to 2.5 million. Equally, trying to increase their storage capacity to 100 tons.
So these are inventory
to help them manage logistics issues.
Yeah.
Considering the peculiarity we have down here, I think those 3 innovation expansions are timely and very, very good, and will help them to maintain this growth. Now, coming down to valuation, yes, if you look at the valuation using the price-earning ratio, the price-to-book ratio, and the price-to-sale ratio, yes, it is. It looks like it's trading at a premium, because the price-earning ratio is about 28, Then if you check the price to sales ratio, which is about 4, I think.
No, their PE ratio, you said it's 28?
28, yeah, PE is 28. So then the price, that means investors are willing to pay that high, that premium price. And but if you want to look at it from the angle of growth, you can see that the price earning growth is below 1, which is good, which is telling you that once factored in, when you factor in the growth aspect of it, then the stock is undervalued, it becomes undervalued, which is equally good. So you have to bring in the growth, not just to look at the trailing earnings.
Yeah.
So, but when you bring in growth, you can see that the stock is okay. It's priced very well and undervalued. I look at it from this angle. Always look at the tailwind and the headwind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, impressive growth, revenue growth, profits, a very wonderful profit, and they have increased dividends. That is the tailwinds, which is very, very good.
Very true.
Very good. Then, if you look at the headwinds, that is the cons. You now look at the exchange rates problem, which is not going to go away easily because of Naira devaluation. So it's still going to be there. But I think they have been able to done well, trying to at least temper their costs, bring down their costs to manageable so that their interest, their cost of sales and their margins. You can see what the operating margin, operating profit margin is about 31%, which is good. So I think they have done very well on that. And for me, I think it's a buy for me. It's a buy for me because I think though the investors, I don't think investors are really pricing the growth because the share price is at close of Q1 is still less than 1%. We have about 1% growth. So, but the thing is that the value of the stock, that's the share price of the stock, is a little bit on the high side, which is okay, about 418 Naira per share. So I think that might discourage retail investors to cash in on it because of the.
What will you say about Seplat?
Seplat. Seplat is about.
E400 is.
Yeah, Seplat is. I think last time is it's about 5,000.
But at the point it got to 6,000.
5,700, which is high. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
They are high value stocks. So it's not if you have the means. I think I like BUA Foods, because the fundamentals are okay. And pushing since from the time they were listed on the exchange. I think it's okay.
Okay. BUA Foods. Now you've heard from Idikaja, city gentleman. Come to tell us the idea and everything behind the numbers. And those numbers will guide your investment decision, whether to buy, whether to sell, or whether to hold BUA Food. So BUA Food is a case study in turning challenges into opportunities. It's literally scaling locally, innovating boldly, and also delivering value. With his eyes set on Africa's dominance, this is one of those stocks that you want to have a close watch on. Stay tuned for more updates and more inspiring business stories from In Good Company, brought to you by Nairametrics Television. My name is Frank Fagbo, and I had this show with a city gentleman called Idikaja, who's an amazing man, telling us all the gimmicks and all the stories behind those numbers. And so, are you going to buy? Are you going to sell? Are you going to hold? Tell us in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next episode. Keep remaining in good company. Cheers.